to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about 7 things you should not do as a single woman. Guys, if you want to hang out, you're more than welcome to. However, I am going to be directing this to the ladies in the house. So if you're curious to know what these things are, then make sure you hang out with me. Yup, make sure you hang out with me. What? Okay, so the first thing that you should not do as a single woman is take the lead. Now, hear me out for a second. When I first started dating my husband, right, or even actually way before that, I was always the pursuer. So I was the one asking guys out. I was the one letting them know that I like them. I was very pushy. I was a pursuer. I was very strong in my character. And God literally told me to step back and let the guy take the lead. So I said, Lord, I made a pact with him. And I say pact because, you know, he's God. But anyway, I said, God, I know the person you'll have for me when you bring them to me. So I knew that I wasn't allowed to tell anybody that I like them. I needed to allow God to have the man take the lead. So with my husband, he was the first one to tell me that he liked me. He was the first one to ask me out on a date. He was the one who said I loved you first, and he was the one who asked me to marry him. So although it's like with us ladies, we're 1,000 steps ahead of men. We just are emotionally, we are. And what we need to do is just wait and allow him to take the lead, because it does a few things. Now, first, it saves us from embarrassing moments. Now, I don't know if this has happened to you, but I know it's happened to me, where you tell somebody you think that they like you and you like them, so you jump ahead and you say, oh, I like you, and they're like, yeah, I kind of like you, but as a friend, and you're just like, oh my gosh, really? And then the other thing is that as far as taking the lead, you want him to lead you to the altar, okay? You don't want him leading you to the bedroom. Because with guys, there's just this thing that, yes, if they like you, there's nothing that's going to stop them from asking you out or getting your number, whatever the case may be. But unfortunately, a lot of the times when it's not a godly man, then they want to lead you to the bedroom, right? And once they have that, once they lead you to the bedroom and they take what they want, for them, it's over. And all it is this a timeline of when you guys are going to break up. Or you're just going to be in a decade full of the unknown. You know, is he going to ever marry me? And you just don't want that, right? You want somebody who's going to take the lead, but also take you to the altar. The second thing you do not want to do as a single woman is have sex or just be impure with everybody, because people seem to think that because you're single, you can do whatever you want. Listen, you don't have to, address anybody or be responsible or accountable to anybody, and just go ahead and do you, right? Like, that's the thing of this age. And here's the problem with that. When you do you, the enemy is going to do whatever he wants with you. So that means, yeah, you're probably going to get an STD. You're probably going to end up being in an abusive relationship, or maybe you are in a, nice relationship or one that has a lot of potential, but you're in it for like 15 years and he won't marry you until then. There's a lot of stuff that God is going to save you from. And if you just have sex with anybody, you are going to get attached. And what ends up happening is you get all these attachments and then they end up meaning nothing. And that's probably the worst thing that can happen, is end up being numb from all the things that you've opened yourself up to, all the people that you've opened yourself up to. So again, when you're a single woman or a single man, if you're a man watching this, stay pure, don't have sex. The third thing you should not do as a single woman is to force a relationship. Now, I know sometimes we feel like we know better, right? And listen, let's say that this guy has been our friend forever and you're like, well, just give me a chance. Well, let's just try a relationship. Let's just, you want to force this thing to happen. And you really want a relationship to happen naturally, because the habits you create now will carry over into your marriage. So if you're constantly forcing this person to do something, wouldn't you rather them do it naturally? Like, they want to naturally have a relationship with you. So again, for number 3, don't force a relationship. Let relationships happen naturally. And if they don't, then they're not meant to be. The fourth thing you should not do as a single woman is dress inappropriately. Now, my former youth pastor used to say, now listen to me, okay, just hear me out for a second. My former youth pastor used to say that modesty is contextual and purity is non-negotiable, basically meaning this: in different countries, in different parts of the world, or even within the same region or state, or in different churches, modesty is going to look differently. However, purity is a non-negotiable. So you got to think about the heart of what you're doing, meaning when you put something on, what is the motivation behind it? Is it, I want to attract attention, I want people to see all my goodies, or whatever the case may be? Now, I've heard somewhere, and I can't remember who it was that stated it, but the thing that you use to pull somebody in is the thing that you're going to continually need to use in order to keep them. So we want to pull them in with the healthy things. We want to pull them in with godly things, with our personality, who we are as a woman of God. You know, read over Proverbs 31. What does it say about being a woman of God? The other thing is we want to be comfortable. I mean, I don't know about you, but wearing short skirts and wearing things with a really, low cut here, whatever the case may be, it's very hard to move. Like, I feel like I'm stuck. I can't move the way I want. There's not enough freedom there. And people think, well, I can wear what I want, so there's freedom there. But when you're comfortable, I mean, how much easier is it to have a conversation? How much easier is it to do things that are fun without having to worry about, pulling stuff down or pulling things across? I don't know about you, but it's like too high maintenance for that. It's okay to dress beautifully. It's okay to wear really nice things and put on makeup and earrings and things like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but you are a gift. You don't want just anybody peering into what God has given you, for your husband if you're to be married. So again, just dress appropriately. And if you have a question about what you're wearing, trust me when I say the Holy Spirit will let you know. Because there's been a lot of times where I've worn shorts and I'm like, are these shorts like a little too short? And I feel it in the Holy Spirit. I feel like this grieving, like this uneasiness. So when I change and then I feel peace, I know that I made the right decision. Number 5, and things not to do as a single woman, and it's to lose God while seeking a man. Now, again, the habits you create now will carry over into your marriage. So if you're used to putting a guy in front of God all the time, you're going to be severely disappointed. Trust me, I'm in marriage. Conflict is going to happen. They are not perfect. We all have our issues. But when we put God first, we trust him. We can hear him. We have his guidance. We have his peace when things feel like chaotic and out of order. We have the peace within us to know that it looks crazy right now, but God has me. If we have God as number one, if we have the man as number one, then they become our world. And when our world comes crashing down, then everything seems to be a mess. So again, when you seek God, when you put God first, then he will add these things onto you. But you cannot lose God in the process, okay? Because he is number one and he loves you so much that he will knock that person off their altar. The 6th thing not to do as a single woman is not to listen to your friends or family. Now, I pray and I hope that you have a community, a support group of people who are just invested in you as a friend or a family member. And if you don't have that, then I really do apologize. But I'm going to challenge you and ask you to pray for God for these kind of people in your life. Healthy people, people who really do love you, who really want to see you succeed. And again, it's not to have like where people dictate every single step, because obviously it's your life. You're going to decide who you want to be with and things like that. But you have to go into it with wisdom. You can't go in blindsided, blinded by the hearts and stars that you see when you see these people. Listen to your family and friends. Weigh them out. Ask God, God, is this truth or is this fact? Is this fiction? What is this? Truth and fact are the same thing, but you know what I'm saying. Is this truth or is it a lie? That's basically what I'm trying to say. And God will clear things. God will clarify. God will bring things. If you're a single mom, especially, listen to your kids. What do your kids have to say about this person? Because this is a person that's going to be in their life as well. It's not just about you. It's also about your kids. So you want to have just an all-encompassing idea of who this person is, and watch. The best thing to do is just watch and observe, and things will reveal itself. The 7th thing not to do as a single woman, and this is the final thing, and that's be a stalker. It is very easy to be a stalker nowadays with social media, snaps, Instagram stories, Facebook, wherever. You can find out basically anything about anybody, and it's okay to look to get an idea of who this person is, because you really can get a good idea of who a person is by their social media. However, when you're there on their page at 3 a.m. and you're on their friend's cousin's second wife's best friend's boss, and you're on their page looking up stuff, then you know you've gone too far. You know what I'm talking about, y'all, okay? It's very easy to get sucked into the portal of finding everything out about this person. When it becomes an obsession and you're up really late and you become just obsessed with seeing everybody, then you know you've gone too far. It's okay to check. It's okay to see who this person is. But again, don't let it become an obsession, because then you become a stalker. And trust me, it gets seen. Somehow you'll be found out when you're everywhere they're at, or, you happen to know things about them that you wouldn't have otherwise known if you didn't stalk them. So just make sure that you're in the right mind when you're looking up somebody to see just who they are. All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Again, subscribe below if you haven't. New videos come out every single Tuesday, so this way you're up to date with all the notifications when the video actually does come out. Share this video, give it a 2 thumbs up. Listen, you never know who this can help. You never know who's looking for advice on Christian dating and relationships and being single, whatever the case may be. So thank you again for so much for just hanging out with me. Love y'all. Bye. The second, what am I on? 3. Number 5 and things not to do as a single woman is, all right, y'all, all right, y'all, so thank you so much for watching. This is the end.